All right, thanks so much, Kelsey. It is time for Financial Focus. The stock market closed yesterday because of the holiday, so financial analyst Steve Budin joining us today with a few topics. Welcome.
Welcome.
It's Tuesday. Feel
yes.
weird?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right, let's talk about the tariffs. More tariffs taking effect, and you were saying these are really some common items that people, need to buy now?
Yeah, you're not going to like what I'm about to say right now, because some of the tariffs that are going into effect as of yesterday, up until now, a lot of industrial products were hitting the tariff tax. Now we're seeing things like coffee and wine and ham, tomatoes, sneakers. So these are things that the ultimate retail customer will feel. So if you're on the fence to buy any of these types of items, you might want to do it sooner than later, because as it goes through the supply chain, those price increases could be as high as 15–20%. So
do you want to do like a bulk buy, like a big major like crate of coffee? And
how much wine can you drink?
Total wine, a full cart? Or what do we do here? Seriously though, do we stock up if we really like something?
Well, it may not be a bad idea.
Yeah?
Now again, everything is going back and forth. We don't know how long the tariffs may or may not last. As of today, a lot of these items, the prices will go up. A lot of electronics have been pushed off until December because the president wanted to keep the holiday shopping season going. So the smartphones and some other electronics don't have to be affected yet, but it could be down the line.
All right. Let's talk about manufacturing and construction reports. You were saying both these reports indicate a slowing economy. You and I were chatting in the newsroom saying, well, yeah, I was like, well, but isn't construction booming here? Because, you know, we're finally building again. And so how does...
Yeah, construction is mostly local, but generally the construction numbers and the manufacturing numbers have showed a slowing, pretty much the slowest in about 3 years. And I've said before, I don't necessarily put too much credence in one report. It's just a trend to keep an eye on if it happens to 2 or 3 months. And I think now you're really beginning to see the impact of these trade wars take effect. Companies were putting off as long as they could, letting inventory fall off. Now that they have to replace some of these things, they're doing the construction a lot slower than they would to protect themselves. But, you know, Vegas is not unique. I mean, if the whole economy begins to slow, we'll feel it, but not yet.
Okay. And let's talk college. A lot of folks just recently heading back to school, if not now, really on the East Coast too. College majors, when you're choosing a major, say your focus is where can I make a lot of money? And you have a list of some of the majors that make the most money. It's interesting because some of them I'm like, I wouldn't even think of dabbling in that, but what makes the most money?
Yeah, I will say you shouldn't pick a major strictly because of the money.
You got to be interested, you got to be good at it.
Something you're interested in. However, if you're going to borrow, sometimes this does weigh into the equation. And with a lot of our viewers having children and grandchildren heading off to college, there's one key word here that popped out of the report to me: engineering. Things like electrical engineering, marine engineering, nuclear engineering, genetic engineering. All of these are offering six-figure salaries when you graduate college. Pharmacy is still at the top of the list. Something I found interesting, botany, which I wouldn't expect, that's near the top of the list too. And your traditional majors that tend to struggle a little bit, drama, theater, literature, those are the majors that don't necessarily pay the most when you graduate. So if that's an interest of yours, you may want to pick a college that may not cost as much, because the last thing you'd want to do is borrow a lot of money to go to this university, get the degree, and then not have something being able to pay it.
I couldn't imagine making 6 figures right out of college.
Yeah,
a lot of
you mean
people
journalism doesn't do it?
Well, not at first, no. It was a good 19,000 though. But I loved going to Walmart and racking up that credit card bill.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, thanks, Steve. Good stuff. We'll see you back here on Monday. Stay with us.